Welcome to the lair of the Batty Boffin.
Hi there, welcome to another Batty Boffin Maths video. Today we're going to be talking all about the wonderful word BODMAS, or you may know it as Bidmas. It's the same thing. Some people even use PEMDAS. They all stand for the same thing, it's just slightly different initials. Here's what they stand for. They're here to help you know what order to do maths in. The B stands for brackets. Most people know that when you've got some maths and there's brackets in it, you do what's in the brackets first. So B is for brackets. If you're using PEMDAS, it's P for parentheses, which is just a posh word for brackets. The next one is the I in Bidmas, or the O in BODMAS, or indeed the E in PEMDAS. I'm going to use, I'll use O for the moment. I think I'm going to do BODMAS. If it's an I, here's just some posh words for you. I would be for index. O would be for order. And E, if you're using PEMDAS, is for exponent. They all mean the same thing, so it really doesn't matter which one of these you use. And what they mean is that little number up at the top. So if we have something like 5 squared, which means of course 5 times 5, 5 squared is 25. And the exponent, or the index, is that little number up at the top. So it just means, you know, squareds and cubes and square roots and stuff like that. So you can have I, if you're using Bidmas for index, one index, two indices, that's the plural. If you hear the word indices, it's just the plural. O is for order, or E is for exponent. However, I like to call it other stuff, because later on it includes things like sines and cosines as well. So I'm going to call that one, oh, I've lost my blue pen, here it is, other stuff. So it's things like square roots, squares, cubes, sines, all that kind of thing. Okay, now we get on to the easier ones. That was the tricky one there. Divides and multiplies. They come next. You'll notice in this it has multiplies and divides. These both have divide and multiply. It doesn't matter, divides and multiplies all come next. So that's divides and multiplies. And last of all come the adds and subtracts. So A is for add and S is for subtract. So BODMAS or Bidmas or PEMDAS, whichever way you call it, all tell you that you do stuff in brackets or parentheses first, then you do any powers and roots and stuff like that, then, and this is the important one, you do all your divides and multiplies, and finally you add and subtract them. Okay? Maths does not start at the left and go across to the right the way that English does. Maths starts off with anything in brackets, then any powers and roots, then all the divides and multiplies, and only when you've finished all that do you add the bits and bobs together. Okay? We're going to look at a few examples, so talk amongst yourselves, go get a cup of coffee, have a couple of biscuits while I just wipe down the board. Back in a minute. Okay, ready to have a go at these? Starting off with the top one. Now, a lot of people would look at that and go, 3 plus 4, that's 7, times by 2, 14. And they'd be wrong. It's not 14. Because Bidmas tells us that we need to do it in a different order. It's not left to right. We need to do the brackets first, well there aren't any, index or orders, other stuff. There's no squares and square roots. There's no divides, but we have got to multiply. So we do the multiply first. 4 times 2, that's 8. And so then we do the add. 3 plus the 8. The answer is 11. 11's the answer for that, not 14. We don't go left to right. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing something that says this is a BODMAS or Bidmas question. It applies to everything. Any maths, anywhere you come across it, all uses BODMAS. All bits of maths use this, whether it's in a question or it's not or anywhere. Always use BODMAS all the time. Left to right is wrong. So here's the next one. This one's got a divide in it. So again, we don't do 8 take away 10. Well, that's -2 and then divide it by 5. We don't do that. We do the divide first. So 10 divided by 5, that's 2. And then we do the 8 take away the 2, that's 6. Now, in the next one, we've got a squared. That comes under the O, order or other stuff, or the I for indices or index. So first thing you're going to do is do the power, and then you're going to do the add. So pause the video and have a go at that one yourself. Welcome back. You should have had 2 plus 3 squared is 9, which gives you 11 for that one. If you got that, well done. If not, just rewind, look at the first part of this again and make sure you're doing things in the right order. Next one down, we've got a squared, and we've got a takeaway, and we've got a divide. So there's 3 things there. Again, pause the video, have a go at that. Okay, hopefully you should have done the power bit first to give you a 16. Take away, and then the divide bit is 6 divided by 3, 2. So you should have ended up with 14 as your answer. If you got that, well done. On to the next one. Now here we've got a lot going on. We've got brackets, and we've got a power, and we've got an add and a subtract and a multiply. You don't have to do this all in one step. As you saw here, I actually did an intermediate bit, or sometimes I write it above it. Something you can do whatever you like. Don't try and do that all in one thing. What I advise is maybe do that bit and do that bit and then do the takeaway at the end. So pause the video, your turn to have a go. Here we go then. Right. First of all, the brackets, B for brackets, we do those first. That's pretty easy, it's 3 plus 2. So that gives us a 5, and it's squared. That squared means the whole of the brackets is squared. It's not the same as that. That means just the 2 is squared. Here we do the 3 plus the 2, and then square the whole thing, because the brackets mean we do those first. So we did the 3 plus 2, that gave us a 5, and we're going to have to square that in a bit. Take away. Okay, so we've done our B for brackets, we've done our index, that's going to be there, we're going to do that in a minute. We need to do this multiply here. 4 times 5, that's 20. So that gives us a 25, take away 20, we get an answer of 5. If you got that, well done.
Mwahaha! Mwahaha! Mwahaha!